Everybody, welcome to Lessons with Troy. I'm Troy Brenningmeyer. Well, this is another part of my series in doing this upgrade to this recording keying lap steel. In the last one, I put on these Sertano benders and showed you how to do that. And now in this one, I've got bought these DAddario tuning machines that are locking tuners. I love locking tuners. What does that mean exactly? Let me show you here. So I've already installed a couple of them just so that I could figure out what the heck I was doing. But basically, instead of winding the string around the tuning peg a whole bunch of times, like that, with locking tuners, you just put it through there, pull the string tight, and then on the back, right, you've got these parts here that you tighten down, and it locks that string into the tuning peg. And with these, let me show you again what these look like. These are, for this recording keying, see how there's 3 on each side? You're going to need to get the ones that are 3 by 3. And I got the chrome finish set. Auto trim, meaning it's going to cut the string off. But that's what the box looks like. And let me show you here what that cutting part looks like, because I was wondering what that is too. This little part right there is going to come back around. The string will come around and it will hit that part and it'll cut the string off flush up against the tuning peg, which makes it real nice. You don't have to trim your strings then. And then this part is the part that you tighten or loosen. Let me show you how I am going about this with this recording key. Okay, so let me go ahead and take this tuner off. Tuning machine, I think it's called. So I just unscrew it like this. And I'll show you what else happens with this. So this just pops right out, right? And I just have a little trash can under me to catch the, probably might want to do this on a workbench. I'm doing it on my lap, which probably isn't the best idea in the world. But, okay, so this hole right there is going to be too small for this new tuning machine, right? If I try to put it in right now, it definitely won't fit at all. So I got to make that bigger. Now, so here's the other thing with this recording keying. It has this little part here that you got to dig out. Now, the way that I figured out how to do this, just happened to do it. I took the old tuning peg, right, like this, and then I just used this part here just to push, and I find the end of that little button there. There we go. So then that pops out. Okay. So I'm just putting a good amount of tape over each hole here to try to keep it from splitting like it did the other 2 times, right? So let's see if this will work. That should be good. Okay, so I'm still drilling holes. I put my second string, got that all going, and I got the painter's tape here on the first string and a fresh battery in my drill, so just drilling this out still. There we go. Now let's take off the tape and see. It's good on the back. See what happened on the front, if it protected it. Oh, look at that. So I've learned that probably through the hard way. My wife actually gave me the idea. I told her that I'd been screwing this thing up twice now, and she said, well, you just use painter's tape over the hole. I guess that's a common thing that people know, but I didn't know that. So yeah, that painter's tape over both holes. I got it real tight this time on both holes, pushed down real good. And man, that really made for a clean hole through there. It's not breaking off the finish. It did a little bit on the second string, but I mean, just you can't even see it with the washer on there. So let's go ahead and put on our last locking tuner. And I love the fact that those holes match up with these locking tuners. The holes that were already drilled on here match up with the DAddario. What are these called? Auto trim tuning machines. In focus. There we go. You kind of got to manipulate the screw wants to. Sometimes you got to angle it a little bit different to get it in there real good. I don't over tighten that. I don't want to strip it out. And the last washer and nut. Has a little dot there. I think that tells you where the hole is. So that's good to know. That little has a little metal circular part there that tells you where the hole is. So okay, so that's nice and tight. Tighten down your locking tuner. And it'll trim the string for you. Okay, so I got it all strung up and tuned up, and seems to be staying in tune, okay. Definitely feels a lot more sturdy than it did before. The other thing is, it rattled before. The tuners would rattle, and it's not doing that anymore. Obviously, it's a lot tighter. So let me go through all my mistakes that I made so that you don't have to make these mistakes. First off, let's see here. Okay, as you can see, it's not as pretty as it used to be. Notice the chip right there and the chip right there that I attempted to super glue back on, and then I got super glue on the neck, which just doesn't seem to want to come off. But then that's not even with the, that chip that I tried to super glue, that's sticking up a little bit. Whatever, it's fine. It's more about just having fun, and learning from my mistakes, trying not to ruin the instrument. But there they are, my 6 DAddario locking tuners, and they work great. So here's what I would suggest. First off, I was using a 3/8 inch bit. So as you can see here, it looks like that. Well, it's just a little too small, so I would suggest getting the right bit so you don't have to keep going in and out of the hole. That's what I was having to do to try to make the hole just a little bit bigger each time. That took a lot of time to do. The other thing is when you take off your old tuners, right, make sure you take off, this string and the other string so you don't hit it with the drill. Highly recommend when you drill out the holes, depending on what locking tuners you have, but if you get these that I've got, let me see if you can see those, the DAddario auto trim tuning machines. You got to put that painter's tape there and put it on real tight, push it real tight around the hole and on the other side too, and then drill. And it seems to, I did that with these 3, and it really seemed to help with it not splitting the finish. So my mistakes can hopefully save you some grief. The other thing is as you can see here, this tuner is super close to the headstock of the Recording King. See how the headstock wants to come out like that? So I did use the same holes from the previous tuning machines, right? These holes back there. So when I was drilling these, or when I was screwing these in, I was basically kind of putting the screw at a little slightly different angle that could allow me to kind of grab it. And all I needed was just a little bit of clearance from right there. So as I was screwing in that screw, I just kind of held it tight and pulled it a little bit, and it got me some clearance from there. But I don't really like the design of the Recording King headstock. That's just, this part right there totally gets in the way of the tuner. The other thing that I did notice is if you're missing the hole, it has these little dots here. See these? You can see it. You can see one there. And that tells you where the hole is. So it's kind of, they're black, which I don't know why they made them black. Should have just made them chrome, and then the hole would, stand out a lot more. But I found it a little bit hard to find the hole. And then you got to make sure that your tuning machines, the lock is unlocked, unscrewed, and loosened up. Otherwise, as you're trying to put the string in, it's going to be hitting that, and you can't get the string through. Just simple things, but it definitely feels a lot, the tuning of it feels a lot more sturdy. And once I get used to these tuners, or tuning machines, it should be quick to change a string, right? You don't have to wrap the string around the peg a bunch of times, and you don't even have to cut it. It has that auto cut. Anyways, but yeah, there's my other mod to this one, the locking tuners. The next one that I might do is I'm looking at a roller nut. Hipshot makes a rolling dobro nut, and man, I really don't know what I'm doing, but I could learn, I guess, the hard way. Maybe change out this nut to a rolling nut like the Hipshot. So that's kind of, let me see, anything else that I learned? Oh yeah, it is hard when you leave the old strings on there to because they're all bent, to try to get them through the hole. I'm sure new strings would be a lot easier. But yeah, that worked out pretty good actually. Use the painter's tape. Don't make the mistake that I did, and you can use these same holes. Just watch on these to pull them a little bit. Give yourself just a little bit of space past the headstock there, and you should be good. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you on the next lesson. See ya. Bye.